Hey, what up, everyone? Dragging back in with another edition of the Kaiju commentary. On this, we are watching 1994's Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla. So when you see the Toho logo appear on your screen, that is your cue to start listening to us. We're going to kick things off in 3, 2, 1. Hello! Welcome to another edition of the Kaiju commentary. Today we are watching 1994's Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't. I didn't know we were getting the space.
Yeah, we're doing SpaceGodzilla. Yeah, that's going down. And right away, we have SpaceGodzilla, in case some of you guys were wondering. So, what's SpaceGodzilla about?
What's it look like?
Well, there you go, folks. Sure didn't take long.
Are his arms crossed right now?
They're like encapsulated in like a crystalline structure.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like sitting like crisscross, and then like this, and then sort of like a... I was getting genie vibes.
Yeah, right?
No, unfortunately, SpaceGodzilla does not grant wishes. That's not what he does. I know.
It should have been.
Well, I mean, when I think SpaceGodzilla, that's exactly what I think. Wishes granted, but no.
Like a fortune telling.
I hear SpaceGodzilla. I also hear, where'd you find the lamp he came out of?
Whoa.
And the irony is, this was an idea that was developed during the Showa era.
Oh, wow.
But by the time they were getting around to it, they already decided to kind of stop making the Godzilla movies, so they never made it. So when there was time
this long to get back to it.
Well, they kind of dusted off and conceptually, it's a cool idea. Unfortunately, this one is not. This film is not exactly held in as high regard of some of the other films during this period of time, which is funny because it's immediately followed by what is considered one of the greatest Godzilla movies ever made.
Well, I mean, it would have been awesome if we saw a return of the moon base and our pals.
Here we see Mechagodzilla, who had fallen in the previous film, has been now kind of redesigned as a Mogora here, who initially appeared in the Mysterians, but they kind of like retconned him into like this story now. Even though I'm sorry, how do you go from Mechagodzilla to this guy? I mean, he's cool, but he's not Mechagodzilla cool. I'm like, if you guys are gonna go through all this, couldn't you have just made another Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah.
Because initially he was like an alien robot. That was like his thing. But now they just...
It looks like a Pokemon.
There are robot Pokemon, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow.
There are?
Well, they kind of look like robots. I don't
Okay,
think they're
but,
actually robots,
okay,
but they
honestly.
look
I was like, how's it a
robots.
I was like,
Pokemon
I don't
then?
exactly keep up with Pokemon, but I was like, I'd be surprised if they were...
Speaking of
You know what?
Pokemon,
There's
though...
the fucking ice cream cone Pokemon.
I mean, actually,
There's keys.
robot Pokemon might actually be pretty cool. It's like a world where humanity starts creating their own Pokemon to catch.
And then they rise up and destroy everything.
Yes.
Speaking of Pokemon, we're going to see
Oh, I know.
Baby in this movie again, who now has undergone certain morphological changes that
Somehow.
resemble something you might want to capture and enslave in a small round spherical object for later use.
That guy looks really
Interesting.
sketchy.
Speaking of Pokemon, did you guys hear about Detective Pikachu?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds voice.
That's based on a game from Japan.
You're right. I know.
Yeah.
I heard.
But yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
I'm like, this came out of nowhere. I'm still waiting to see. Like, oh, I'm just kidding.
Now I want to hear Ryan Reynolds voice Baby. We can redub that, right? Just get a bunch of random like Deadpool lines and drop them in.
Oh yeah, we can totally do that.
Let's make it happen.
Now we're seeing the Telepathic Institute being brought back yet again for continuity, which is cool. Again, kind of the only thing that's really continuous throughout kind of the Heisei era. Again, a lot of these films, you kind of wonder how they relate to one another a little bit, because especially when some of them disregard certain other elements, but you know, this character is always kind of a constant. And I love the look at her earring. It's the I'm pretty sure it's the Easter Eye. Is that the Easter
I was
Island
going to
symbol?
say, it looks like it was
yeah.
something like that.
Yep. Blink. And there's a lot of, too, a speculation of, like, where SpaceGodzilla comes from, because unfortunately in this movie, they don't really break it down. They kind of propose theories, maybe, but they never actually kind of spell it out, which is another kind of thing people have an issue with this film, is that it's not really kind of fleshed out. SpaceGodzilla essentially just kind of shows up and he's just like, "Hey,
They
I'm
should have made
Space
it
Godzilla."
some sort of part of Biolante got launched off, and then they.
I mean,
They should have just tied it to ancient Egypt somehow.
whoa.
Or the Aztecs, some ancient advanced race expelled this Godzilla into space.
I want to see
But
that.
there was
movie.
this other
That'd be impressive.
there was this other dormant one here, but now Space Godzilla has returned.
Listen. You're making an effort, which is something this film made great strides not to do. So we're
I'm
gonna have to ask you to
I'm
stop.
just trying to help.
Well, no, it's funny if you look at Space Godzilla design, he actually resembles Super Godzilla, which was a version of Godzilla from one of the early Famicom games. I could have pulled up a little bit closer to the water
Listen.
or the land. I'm just saying.
Listen. Maybe he peed his pants and he was just trying to hide the fact.
You're not cool unless you pee your pants. Getting a very kind of a Lost World vibe here. This is the one place that's probably worse than the Lost World, actually.
Are they on Monster Island again?
Well, they don't have like Monster Island in this continuity, but they have an
Well,
island where there's
yeah.
Godzilla. So, the more that you need. It's like you land on like Isla Nublar and like, thank God there's just dinosaurs here.
Well, how big is this island?
I don't think they specify. Again, I always kind of figure Godzilla is just kind of like,
Because if it's just one Godzilla you got to deal with, as opposed to many dinosaurs.
I suppose, and Godzilla's not really looking for you for any specific reason.
Yeah,
At least he'd be very easy to avoid.
potentially.
Yeah,
Depends
but
how big the island is.
But he got to just carpet bomb the whole thing with his atomic breath, and so he doesn't really need to find you. He can just
But
kind
I
of.
mean, that's if he has any interest in doing so. Like, which...
Oh, man.
Oh. Again, so pacing wise too, this film is very it's quick. Oh, hey.
Oh,
See?
he's been there for...
Even deserted islands have bad neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Damn it, really?
Give me all your money so I can spend it on...
I moved out of Roppongi to get away from the ship.
Ah!
Oh, he saved him.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Predator. Thanks. Anytime.
I'm like, you couldn't have just
Son of a bitch!
Now I'm going to study it.
Did they actually kill a real spider?
I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't, because I don't like spiders, but I also feel kind of bad.
I don't know.
A little bit.
Kill the spider. It's fine. You have my blessing.
Your question is, what happens when he runs out of cigarettes? Is that when he goes crazy in the island and he becomes like a one-man Lord of the Flies kind of situation?
Yeah, he's just wearing his underpants on his head.
I know, right?
Tiny island. I guess Godzilla lives on a tiny
Well,
island.
I kind of figured Godzilla, he pretty much stays kind of in the South Pacific. Oh, here we go.
God.
Baby, I choose you.
Remember, baby?
Yeah.
He's had a little bit of a...
It's cute, but it's also terrifying because it's giant. It's like if you saw a giant teddy bear.
Yeah.
And it makes that sound.
Little Godzilla.
It's still better than Manila, though.
Yeah.
The closer I get, the bigger he is.
He's looking at him like hungry eyes. It's almost like when a cat looks like a little toy that wants to bat around. I don't know if I'd want to get that close.
Play with me.
It's like...
It's terrifying.
It's happy-ass music.
I know.
I mean, the benefit to his eyes being huge is that you're easy target.
It's just so funny, though, because he looks so,
Immediately be
like...
shooting him in the eyes.
Aiming for the eyes.
Yeah.
I like that was your first default when you see like the cutest iteration of Godzilla of all time. Aim for the eyes.
You know, he's got priorities, and they're in order on the cars,
They're
okay? So.
survival.
Look how cute his eyes are. All the better the blowout with RPG rockets.
Kill the spider and shoot the baby in the eyes. You have my blessing.
That's what we're gonna put on your tombstone. Here lies Chris. Kill the spider. Shoot the babies in the eyes. ... You have my blessings. Like, huh? There's a charmed individual apparently.
P.S. If your dick gets cut off, kill yourself.
Like, wow. These...
That was a conversation beforehand.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Forgot. No context.
That's what they said when they tried bondage for the first time.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Every time you have white people in a Godzilla movie, it's just pillar of acting. It's just
man.
Clearly they raided the hallowed halls of Juilliard for these guys.
I don't know. I've never had this happen before.
How many times have you uttered that in your
Chris,
personal
you're
life?
trying too hard. It was already better.
Oh, God.
You were putting some feeling behind it, and that was the mistake. We'd like you to stop. You're trying really hard and using logic in this movie. You're already I don't think you understand what's happening in front of you right now.
I'm trying. I'll try to do worse.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate you. We appreciate the lack of effort. Thank you.
I have to put in effort. to put less effort in.
Yes. And again, I like right here we're implying that kind of Mothra is like an ethereal being in this continuity. You can really tell because again, she can kind of like
Astral project.
Yeah, exactly. And the fairies themselves too are like we were saying in that film that they're less literal and more like kind of mental constructs of Mothra.
Of course it is.
I love at this point they're just like they're not even questioning the validity of that. They're just like, but why Earth? Like why us? How much longer before you don't
it's
even...
here to kill Godzilla. So, in this ancient Earth, Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla have already fought, but Godzilla aided the ancient humans in expelling him from
the Earth.
From Earth. And now he has this vendetta. They have this vendetta against each other.
Yeah, you might be able to work that in since again it's like they
It's
don't.
basi-
They
it's-
clearly don't develop much of a plot for this one. So like, yeah,
It's kind
why
of
not?
like Black Adam in Shazam,
There you go.
where Merlin banishes Black Adam like before it reaches a space, and he spends like a millennia just flying back.
Oh, God.
See, again, any of this would have worked if they would have again, got Space Godzilla. Where does it come from? I don't know. Just, somewhere up there, I guess. Just to kind of point there. For a split second, I thought that said milk. It's MK, but I'm like, yes, we get it. You're real strong.
I found a lot of milk.
I drink my milk by the barrel.
Actually, those are full of cigarettes. So he's been there for 50 years, but he has not run out of cigarettes. So.
And you really think that's going to help him?
Well, again, I always love when you see these characters have these motivations, and for whatever reason they want to kill Godzilla, and I'm just like, yes, because of all the militaries of the world creating super sci-fi weapons that can't kill. Hell, the maser cannon can't kill.
Yeah, I know.
Godzilla.
I was gonna bring up the masers. Like the masers don't even work.
But I've got landmines.
So these barrels full of cigarettes, it most definitely will not.
It's like we're gonna use this World War II technology to bring down the most indestructible organism the world has ever known. Oh, I forgot that he has a handmade bullet that's supposed to like
kills babies.
Again, I do like though the idea of the coagulant because again, using a scientific method to kind of kill Godzilla, basically.
Well, it's kind of what they did in Shin.
Yeah, they kind of even though in Shin it didn't didn't kill him, but it was a way to kind of subdue him.
He doesn't realize how the size of that bullet in relation to Godzilla.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
It's hard to imagine.
Well, again, I know. I think it's one of those things where, he's implying that okay, it's made of something that can like pierce his skin, but it's not even just how durable his skin is. It's also how thick it is. Even if you can penetrate, it's kind of like when a bullet hits water. Oh,
God,
this
booty.
film.
We just saw booty.
The film got unnecessary, folks.
Are they on the moon?
Look at the one guy just
Why are they watching?
The one guy in the background seemed pretty pleased with his current state of affairs.
But I was gonna say, anyways, that gun wouldn't even have enough power to get that bullet into him.
Well, again, even if it could somehow pierce his hide, the skin is so thick, it would basically a quarter of the way in, it would
Unless it
bury
does it in
itself
the
in the skin, huh?
Or the mouth.
I guess. Well, the two highest points on Godzilla.
Yes.
Hope that thing's got some range.
No.
By the way, I love the pristine quality of those space cameras.
Oh, I know.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, there is arms.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
It's kind of, again, conceptually it's epic, but it's one of those things I feel they're also gearing up for Godzilla versus Destroy, which comes after this, because one of the things people point out for this movie is to kind of budget-wise, it kind of looks cheap. I mean, granted, I know there were, it was in a Hollywood production, it was, 20-something years ago, but still, you've seen other films in this continuity earlier that looked, a lot better, and, Toho was trying to crank one of these out, a year, basically. I almost said a month, but a year. So I think they kind of had to kind of distribute the budget, according to what they felt was the more important movie, and because they knew the one coming after this was going to be the last Godzilla movie, at least for a while, but for sure in this continuity. So I think they kind of allocated more of the money to that one.
That makes sense.
And unfortunately, it kind of shows in this one. Again, I've always thought SpaceGodzilla is a cool... and again, we've never seen him again outside of a few video games, but I was always kind of hoping we'd see him again, because I think conceptually it's really cool that, A, it's another Godzilla, and it's just cool, essentially alien Godzilla. So I really like the idea.
Get the Mayans involved.
Perfect.
That's all you gotta do.
Just get the Mayans involved when in doubt.
Yep. Mayans and spores.
Mayans and Spores.
That's all you need.
Remember Spores,
Make
folks?
a great movie.
How do you explain their space Godzilla? I don't know. Get some space and some spores and get some space Godzilla.
One ancient civilization, Atlantis. There we go. But they've already used Atlantis, and
they're going to use it again in the Mothra trilogy that comes up pretty soon.
oh really?
Yeah, or not Mothra, Gamera.
Rebirth of Mothra comes later.
Yeah. I only do psychic handshakes.
Yeah, I only shake hands with my mind.
Again, I like how she's still the. Oh, I didn't realize this island was home to a badass. I would have worn something a bit more slimming at it.
What? He's here?
Oh my god.
That design really is dumb. He's got like thunder thighs,
He's more like a big ass, really.
pear-shaped.
He's
thunder
got like
thighs.
he's got in living color fly girl booty.
Maybe he's trying to.
Yeah,
Maybe they're trying to make Godzilla feel better about himself because he also has thunder thighs.
But yeah, no. Well, he is a carryover from
He
like
looks
an
like
earlier
it looks
film.
like they had to reassemble Mechagodzilla, right? But the person holding the instructions was holding them upside down.
I'm just
things
all
got-
wrong.
yeah, things just got put like all in the wrong places. Like,
Well, it's kind of interesting. He's pretty much an exact duplicate of from when we saw him in the Mysterio. So it's kind of strange they did not update his design like at all. But I also kind of
Yeah.
think that, well, he's really happy about this. Like, yay!
how cool are we? We just launched that thing.
It just flies off into space, disappears. Oh, well, are we
Hey,
still
it's better
cool?
than having a blow up.
Yeah. It blows up in orbit and
Are
like
there,
rains
are there
debris
people
down.
in there piloting it, or
No, I believe he is piloted remotely.
okay?
Hi. You want to buy some weed?
That's
know.
interesting. Do they ever address like the lag in inputs due to piloting it remotely, and that it isn't response and like
She
responding?
No, they I think they worked out that problem. G-Force is on their game. I also one thing I'd like to point out too about there being like another Godzilla, like a baby Godzilla, and seeing how kind of friendly he is in war, it does kind of bring up the whole question of nature versus nurture. Is Godzilla what he is because of just what he is, or is it because basically since he showed up, we start firing bombs and rockets at him, whereas baby is essentially being treated kindly,
Yeah.
and maybe realizing that, okay, well, maybe that's why Godzilla, it implies also how intelligent he might be, because if his behavior can really be affected that much by kind of nature versus nurture, it implies that he can be consciously aware when he's being treated poorly versus good. So implying kind of also how that Godzilla is in fact sentient, because you have another Godzilla that's having a great childhood essentially, and he's really nice and friendly, whereas the other Godzilla was being shot at his whole life, and and surprise, surprise, he's kind of an asshole.
But he spends like most of his time really just alone.
Well, can you blame him?
Well, no.
Even
but
on
I'm
this
just saying-
deserted island, there's a guy
but
with
I mean, the point
stockpiling
the
cigarettes
point I'm
trying to
making
kill
is,
him.
Like, anytime he has to go and do something, everybody loses their, minds and shoots at him, and then he just has to be like, stop it.
And that's my point.
Until he gets and really the same thing would happen to Baby.
Oh, I agree. So
But I don't. But I'm saying like I don't think it's.
Well, I think with them, the implication is too, like, if we maybe treat this Godzilla nice when he eventually grows up, we might have a good Godzilla on our side. So when, all these monsters keep inevitably attacking Japan, as they always do for the past 10 years, we might now have a Godzilla that will no longer just defend us just kind of by territorial default, but might actually come to our aid.
Aww, poor Baby.
He's going to get pink eye from that.
Another Pokemon, you just
Oh.
screen on him.
Well, there goes that whole plan. Stupid dang.
I love that weapons that, cause so much death and destruction in the theater of war to even a baby Godzilla. It's so inconsequential that it just amounts to little more than just a comedic moment in a movie.
I was just gonna say, like, doesn't this just prove the point that it's not gonna work?
Well, he's talking about that bullet he wants to use. I think this is more just to kind of like distract Godzilla long enough so he can take a shot.
I'm gonna shoot him in the eye.
Those giant eyes. And then baby Godzilla became an asshole, grew up, and just started fucking things up like the other one. The end.
Right.
Great. Good job, guy. Thanks. Let's grab another cigarette, you asshole.
Yeah, right. Well, and the funny thing is, like, Baby Godzilla took up almost like the entire beach there, like where the mines are. Yeah. And so, like, the real Godzilla is gonna be like halfway into the ocean, and then half like 1 foot on the beach.
Like when you step on it, it's gonna be like when you step in gum, you just realize, shit.
Yeah.
Like chewing gum on the ground kills small animals. You understand who ingested? That's like death to certain us. It's just a minor news. It's like, fuck, my new cross trainers. God
Not to
damn it.
mention, Godzilla's so tall that like that tear gas wouldn't even reach his face whatsoever.
Well, something tells me crazy guy on the island all by himself probably didn't really think much of this through.
Yeah, he's just crazy.
He's just the only thing he's working at is giving himself like cancer. Like that's really all he's doing.
I feel like he's like.
Well, speak of the devil.
How do you not see that coming?
Well, one thing that G 2014 actually did really well, they explained how Godzilla's size that it would be like a tsunami when Godzilla's approaching land, the water would pull out.
Yeah.
Like you would see the beach just dry up, and then he would create a tsunami when he comes back in.
I have to believe that he came because his child stepped on those mines. And, you know what I mean?
That could very well be. Like he hears his child in duress, so
Yeah.
he responds.
Yeah.
He's that angry dad that all the kids are like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Brian's dad's coming. Fuck.
He's such an ass.
I know.
Cats aren't running very fast.
It's all relative.
Godzilla's like a serial killer slasher
put the
film. He
kickstand
takes
on.
like 2 steps and somehow he's right behind you.
Wait, where did they get that dirt bike?
I'm sure they brought it.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
point. I don't think they had that on the
Unless
raft.
it was bad.
yeah. They're just, we're gonna go to this island and ride this dirt bike. I don't think they had it on the raft.
Maybe they grow naturally. Are dirt bikes indigenous to this island?
Oh my
That would
God.
be
They just
awesome.
they have wild roaming herds of dirt bikes. They had to like capture and tame. This one was like driven out by the herd, so they raised it on this island. This lone
I
dirt
want to
bike.
see that deleted scene.
Let's go get him.
Hey, Godzilla just showed up. Let's grab our guns and go get him. And the women are just like, I don't think they've seen the other movies, guys.
Yeah.
You guys must be new to the continuity. Let me explain how this works. It doesn't.
Shut up. I have a bandana on. That means
And a dirt bike that I've tamed.
yeah. 2 dudes, 1 dirt bike
Dead.
versus Godzilla versus Space Godzilla.
Versus his bastard Pokemon son.
Oh man.
I was like you were saying, I think what we were saying before, that wide shot where they imposed him in the scene.
Yeah.
I love
was
when they
a
do
cool
stuff like that where
shot.
they put him in like real shots because it shows you just how big he is. Because right here again, he's 100 meters, At the time of this movie, this was the largest Godzilla.
He starts aiming up
Like, just point in the
you
general
didn't know-
direction.
like you didn't know where the head was. He just starts at the bottom. Oh, there it is.
Hour later, he's still craning the thing up. Like, shit, he's tall.
Hold, just stop walking towards me.
You ruined up my shot.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to?
Godzilla's like, oh shit, god damn it.
Oh.
Fucking kids leaving your shit all over my beach. How funny was this great build-up moment, and then Godzilla just blasts him with his atomic breath at the
Yeah.
end to this little plot point.
Well, it's
Lovely
such a
armpit of
tiny.
yours. Why
It's
is
weird that it's such a tiny gun like that.
I know.
Well, that's the velocity you would need just to
Yeah.
break the... Even if it's
The
made of an
barrel's not even
alloy, that's the
long
thing.
enough.
Even if it's made of an alloy that could pierce the skin, you would still need enough force behind it to drive it in.
Well, yeah, and I mean that gun's just not going to be accurate from that range.
It's not going to have enough power, but you should. It's like if I take a knife. A knife is strong enough to like cut your arm, but if I put no pressure on the blade, just lay it on your arm, it's not going to break the skin. You have to have force. You basically would need a cannon to fire that thing off, just to
Yeah.
get enough velocity to be able to punch through his skin.
They can't park. They just wipe out.
Like, why are you guys lining up your shot? You're not like trying to shoot like the wings off a bat from like 1,000 yards away. Like, you have the largest thing in the world just standing like 100 feet in front of you. Just point in the general direction and squeeze the trigger. Like,
God.
you could be blind
He
and
needs to
still
have a
hit
cigarette in
guys.
his mouth.
I know. Like, seriously, you could be blind and just have someone tell you where to aim, and you'd still probably hit Godzilla's center mass. Like, really, are you having trouble lining up the shot right now? It keeps swaying from side to
he's
side.
The spotter. He's got to give him the,
That tiny
all right,
ass mom.
target is.
But look, you see how the sight was swaying, and yet it was still on Godzilla. Like, why did you have to wait for that? Like,
That's like the same height it was on Manila, or not Manila, on Baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's trying to get Godzilla like disoriented or.
So he wobbles more, so it's harder to shoot.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Good, get him. It was really difficult before when he was just walking in a straight line. Now he's kind of bobbing and weaving. Yeah, that'll help. Even still, it should still get him. See how the self-defense force spared no expense on his equipment? I'm just saying. Kind of makes you wonder
I don't
why
want
they...
to breathe this in.
Motherfucking scuba.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were just
bullseye.
pretty
Yeah,
shy,
it was a
right?
real hard shot.
Yeah, I hit it. I hit that thing over there.
So you had more than one bullet?
Godzilla just came to this island, and now he's the victim of gang violence. He's getting shot at. Godzilla's like, what the hell?
Caught in the crossfire.
So now they're implying that they might be able to,
Communicate?
not communicate, but like adjust his behavior, perhaps. Like, which I kind of like the idea because the thing is, I mean, if you can't beat Godzilla, see if maybe you can kind of control. Because imagine if you could control Godzilla, he'd be the ultimate biological weapon. Which again, I was like, get the feeling what they're maybe trying to do with Baby a little bit, like basically make him nice so he'll want to do things for us. Whereas this is kind of a more invasive approach. See if we can literally enslave Godzilla's mind. But I think their motivation is that they don't want Godzilla to die because
Oh, so they're Professor Xing her,
yeah.
amplifying her powers.
I think they're kind of showing like, okay, how about if we can find a way to control Godzilla, making him where he's not a threat, will you guys stop trying to kill him? And I think that's the compromise because they actually like legitimately care about Godzilla.
Yeah.
So it's kind of but even still, I'm like from a military standpoint, I'm kind of like, well, he's too much of a risk. Even if you can control him, what happens the one day,
Keep your eyes
there's
on Godzilla. That's gonna be hard. I need my binoculars.
the
for
stupidest line in movie history. Keep your eyes on Godzilla. I'm pretty sure I could turn around and still see him.
Yeah, he's over there. How do you know?
Call it Anj.
Yeah.
Not a bad composite, actually.
Man, those rolls.
This is actually, I think they said, one of the kind of fattest suits they had for the high state continuity. Godzilla, if you notice, he's kind of a lot more bottom heavy. It's funny when G2014 came out, a lot of people were complaining saying he's got thunder thighs, and I'm just like, yes, as opposed to the fucking runner's legs he had before.
I know.
Yeah, he looks like he's about ready to sprint a marathon
It's just
there.
now he's got actual muscles, just makes him big.
Well, because now they render it, with more, muscle anatomy as opposed to just kind of padding up the suit before to kind of imply musculature.
Indiana time.
I know.
Oh, soundtrack
Climb up
time.
his back.
I wish we saw him like hit a little soundtrack while he started running.
I almost slip and fail.
What a loser.
Well, he kind of is, if we're going to be completely
Yeah.
honest with you. Not kind of.
No, he's a loser.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he's one of those like guys, the people that are like really into like survival stuff, but it's like if they're all like super serious, but then if they actually had to do it,
They would be the first ones
yeah.
dead.
I kind of feel like that's what he is. It's for those
I
guys.
live off MRE and beef jerky, so I'm ready for the apocalypse. Are you, though? By the way, MREs are
These
delicious if you guys
graphics.
have ever had them.
That's sick.
Yeah, look at those great asteroids.
You're just gonna run right into him.
They've talked about when you see like asteroid fields like that in space, and even like in like a...
Oh wait, are they?
They're in
in it?
space.
No, are they inside him?
Oh yeah, they do go inside. I forgot. I was thinking later on of
Oh, they got
Mechagodzilla
plasma
movies where he's
fire.
lasered. Yeah, I don't watch this one too often because, like I said, it's not exactly my favorite of the Heisei era. I mean, look, again, conceptually I love it, but no, I was saying, you see these scenes where you have the big asteroids and like you look at that great scene in Empire where they're having the dogfight with the TIE fighters and the Millennium Falcon, but you talk like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, in real life, a tiny asteroid is like the size of Los Angeles. So you avoiding an asteroid is like saying, hey, see that mountain over there? Let me avoid that mountain. They're that big and obvious that for you going between two asteroids close together, they would be like 50 miles apart. And then
Yeah.
two asteroids being close to each other. I mean, obviously it makes for a more engaging scene, but like I said, in reality, tiny asteroids
Well, it's also
are
like we shouldn't be seeing
huge.
sparks and shit outside.
Well, yeah, because technically you shouldn't even hear sound. Firefly and Firefly was like the only thing that got it right, where it was always silent when you saw like space battles and space scenes. But
Yeah.
there's no sound in
The
space.
sound design people are probably like, yes!
It's cool. I would say most of the time,
I mean, it's kind of a.
I would rather like hear, but there are
Oh, I do
some
too.
movies that do it like the silent sort of.
Oh yeah, if it's more of a.
Silent sort of action in space really well. that
Yeah,
it can be,
if
can
it's
be
a
cool,
more
but-
like, if we're talking more like a 2001 kind of space movie, then yeah.
Yeah.
But if something like Star Wars, yeah, I want to hear the whoosh
Yeah.
sounds of the
the sound is half of what Star Wars.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's basically just a giant,
Guys are
it's a
fucking
Foley
with my
artist's wet
brain.
dream. Ooh,
Well, it didn't go as planned. The only way we can save her is if we transfer her consciousness into Godzilla.
that would be amazing. I don't think anyone's ever tried that. Like, kind of momentarily, like if you could not only just take control of his mind, but like inhabit his mind, kind of like they did with Mechagodzilla in the '70s.
Wow, they made really good time.
Yeah,
They could do it like a Godzilla Freaky Friday.
Oh my God.
and Godzilla's not her.
Yeah.
So Godzilla's like in the break room trying to figure out how to work her coffee maker, like
Stomping
"Arr!"
on everything.
Like- hands her like a Coke can. Godzilla puts it down, and just steps on
he
it.
keeps trying to atomic breath everyone.
Just doesn't work.
The copier's out of like toner, and he just gets mad and just like,
Just nothing. And you get a good little montage of him getting to know everyone, and then now he's like the hit at the office, at the office party, and then the real Godzilla comes back and is like, "Oh, I want my life back." No, for the first time ever,
Yeah, he's
I
seen-
feel like I belong.
yeah, he's like CEO. So
I know.
So like, he starts building
little-
weapons to defeat Godzilla because he doesn't want to go back, and he
my God.
actually knows what'll work.
Tammy from accounting is taking me to a spa this weekend for an all-girls weekend. You can't ask me to give that up.
Oh my God. This needs to happen.
Yeah, all in.
Meanwhile, she's as Godzilla on Monster Island trying to tell her, well, why don't we talk about our problems? Have you ever tried just communicating with each other? Of course Rodan hates you. You almost roll into a spiked ball and Gears and plow yourself right into him.
Then Mothra and Godzilla would be BFFs.
I know.
They'd have like slumber
Oh
parties.
man.
Guys, I think we just developed the greatest fan fiction of all time.
Yeah. Kaiju Freaky Friday.
Meanwhile, this asshole's still being stupid.
I know.
Maybe we're being too hard on him.
No.
No, we're not.
No, he's an ass.
I like in that kind of shadow, he looked like he was walking like an Egyptian from that song. Anyone else know? No? Okay, that was just me.
Really, all they should have done with the stuff on the island is they should have, all that build up with the,
And now they're back suddenly. Damn.
finding the mines or whatever, and then Baby steps on the mines, and it's like, silly. And then Godzilla gets there, steps on a mine, it does nothing, it goes like, the smoke goes like that high on his body. And then,
Like up to his ankle.
they all like fire their weapons that we've been told are just gonna obliterate him. And then, but they do nothing. They like, his bullet just goes, and like fizzes out in the ground, and then Godzilla just goes, "Rah!" and just destroys them all. And then it flashes to a scene on Tokyo. Yeah, these and all their pictures died. Godzilla. Yeah, Godzilla killed them. They blah blah blah, and then
Yeah, show the futility of their efforts.
yeah, and it should have just been completely like nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just have like angel music. To be fair, pretty sweet entrance. I'm just saying, descending from the heavens.
Baby's like, oh no, you're
The
not
baby's
my
like, oh
dad.
shit, no, thank you. I'm out. But see, he's such a cool design.
Danger.
Maybe Space Godzilla
But see,
is
look at
Baby's father.
When you look at the face, it does look a lot like, or the mouth looks a lot like Violante's.
Or Destroyer later on a little bit.
Well, yeah, but in terms of like the little side thing.
Or maybe Space Godzilla is Baby from the future after he went through some shit.
Oh yeah.
And he's here to kill himself in the past to end his suffering in the future.
Yeah, baby is like wanting to protect humanity and help humanity, and then future Baby is like, no.
No, it goes horribly wrong.
Reset the timeline.
Okay, it's just like, oh.
You don't understand, Baby. I am Baby.
I
And
love
Baby goes.
And I like how he used like these crystals to kind of like, and again, it's implying that he's like but like the way Godzilla is like atomic in nature, that Space Godzilla is kind of like these weird crystalline thing. That's kind of the basis of his biology.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually starting to flesh out this whole Space Godzilla is actually Baby from the future thing, and it could be really cool. So
Cooler than this movie.
Humanity is successful in making Baby their ally, right? And then eventually things take kind of a turn where Japan uses Baby to conquer Earth,
Yeah.
right? They just completely take over the world, and then after that they equip Baby to venture out into space and conquer other worlds.
Oh boy.
And then, but Baby is innately good inside, really, or sees himself, and eventually says, "No more. I'm going to put a stop to this," and travels back through space and time to prevent Baby from ever becoming
Space Godzilla.
Baby.
That's actually, all jokes aside, I thought you were just gonna be ironic for something. No, that's actually really
pretty
really
cool.
cool. Because again, Space Godzilla has no fucking origin. No one knows what the hell he is. So you can you don't have to even retcon his backstory.
Baby beater.
You can just give him one at this
Yeah.
point. Like that's as good a backstory as any because he literally has none at this point. So sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Why not?
That's his backstory as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's cool. He's got like force field powers.
And
Her
then,
baby's face is like, oh my god.
This is like when you're a kid and your parents are fighting. And
Yeah.
You're just like, oh god.
Baby's just like, this isn't supposed to happen again. Godzilla just goes, and I'm dead. Oh, but he takes a shot.
yeah, you thought I was going down.
It was like a fake out.
Psych, nah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Get away from my baby.
You bitch.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Dad? Da, da, da.
Look at baby. Baby's just trying to get the hell out of it.
Baby.
I don't know what life is anymore.
Oh, that's adorable.
Godzilla just smacks him upside the head. Stop being such a little bitch.
Get the fuck off me. Oh, shit.
By the way, wait, can we point out how much telekinetic force Space Godzilla would need to be able exhibiting to be able to kind of, you know, it's going to just show you how powerful he is. Again, if he's got telekinesis.
Oh no, is Space Godzilla gonna kill baby?
I would just, if I was Space Godzilla.
Spoilers, baby's in the next one.
I know.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if I was Space Godzilla, I wouldn't even bother with this. I would just turn around and fucking plummet into them with all the spikiness on the back.
I don't think they could afford to build enough suit for that.
Dude, have you been drinking again, Dad?
God damn it, Dad! I need you. It's like, you know, when at the PTA meeting, and you're just trash on the couch. This is like when Raditz stole Kid Gohan from like Goku.
I know, right?
Aw, he's so adorable.
He's stealing himself.
Oh no, Crystal Prison.
You will stay there, bro. Humanity will never find you.
Space Godzilla looks like a giant
they're
flying
just
fortress of solitude.
I know, right?
Kinda,
Yeah. Like, if I was Superman, that would be my fortress of solitude. I would just hang out on Space Godzilla's back all day. Yeah, Batman, come bug me now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm waiting for that comic where this Fortress of Solitude just gets up and flies away.
Space Godzilla.
Oh my god, it was Space Godzilla this whole time?
Shit! Who knew?
For 75 years.
This guy.
We had no idea.
So, like, I'm out.
Every Superman comic has been a Superman Space Godzilla crossover.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Maybe Space Godzilla is a Godzilla of Krypton.
Oh my god.
I know, I'm blowing minds left and right
Whenever
today.
we do this, I wonder why we are not the minds behind every creative property in existence right now. Like,
listen.
why aren't we deciding what's next for all these things? Like,
What's the next big thing? Oh, I'll tell you what the next big thing is. Shit. Superman meets Space Godzilla, except Space Godzilla was there the whole time. The whole time.
But here's the thing.
yeah, buddy, it's like, oh my god.
It's like, well, being a badass didn't work out, so I'm just gonna stack some rocks.
Yeah.
No shit. That thing failed before it started.
Why are you surprised?
It failed when you proposed it, and they all said no, and you just went off by the island all by yourself anyway.
With a psychotronic doohickey can't do much. I missed the one word in there.
What is he burying?
His pride. Oh, yeah, the bullet, sure.
I don't know. I have no
They
idea
were
what
like
he's burying.
bones.
Bones of his dick that just got handed back to him.
Yes, yeah, that's good. His penis.
Here's your masculinity back. I don't think you'll be needing this anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, he even said, I've had enough of a bad day. I guess so.
Yeah, I've had a lot of those, haven't you, bud?
Hey, man, so that didn't go so well. Could I watch you shower again?
Oh my god.
Because that was nice.
Oh, what, you can't look at me anymore?
I'd like to watch her shower, if you know what I mean.
Then suddenly it just turned into like a Budweiser commercial. They're all high-fiving each other as they're riding on motorcycles on the beach. Godzilla's on a big motorcycle behind them.
Dirtbags. Yeah.
Dirtbags, yeah! You're welcome, folks. Shark comes up, eats her. Ah, shit.
Where is the dirt bike?
It got released back in the wild.
Well, yeah. Go!
I can't go.
They're throwing rocks at it. No, that's what he was burying.
They're like white fanging
He
it.
buried the... Yeah.
Go on, dirt bike, get out of here! I can't take you with me.
She
Go,
changed
you need to be
his
with your own
forget-
kind.
No! Don't come... Never come back.
See all the other dirt bikes in the field, like wheeling it up in the air. Go be with your own people. Yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
She's staying on the island?
She changed just like
Yeah,
Godzilla.
I thought she was in red.
She was.
It's like that scene in Event Horizon, and they're like, "We need to go home." I am home. Oh, okay, all right. Well,
no, actually, you're not.
Um,
I think that thing that shocked your brain may have...
confused you somewhat.
Maybe the island has some deep connection to Godzilla, and she can use it to amplify her powers.
It could, man. Like how they're showing you like the cell. I love like even at a cellular level, it has like a crystalline structure. That's pretty cool.
Oh, sweet.
Again, I always like when they do variations of Godzilla. I've always found that fascinating because, again, Godzilla's such a singular thing, with regardless of which continuity you see him as part of a species or not. Usually there's pretty much always one. This is the closest we've ever really had to having two Godzillas when you see him and Baby.
This is perfect. See, this would, in my version of this movie, this would be where they, in examining SpaceGodzilla's cellular structure, they're seeing evidence of external tampering with his cellular makeup. They don't know yet that it was future humans that did that.
That could be a thing.
But
by the way, I would love to hear what Neil deGrasse has to say about this, because, okay, you take some cells, you shoot to a black hole, and you get Space Godzilla, right?
yeah, naturally.
Naturally.
Time to tweet
You're
him.
gonna get some crystals forming around a Godzilla-like creature. And he's gonna be able to fly through space, and he's gonna destroy.
That guy wasn't terrible.
No, he kind of looks like our friend Scott, but way older.
Oh God, and with janky teeth.
Sorry, Scott. Love you. But no, again, it's like, I love how he had like the big stogie in his hand. But how does it help to stop Space Godzilla? My God, I love hookers and cocaine.
God, these two. They just look so disgruntled. Look at
The
him.
actor on the left, where he's appeared in numerous Godzilla films. He was actually in Shin too, so he's kind of a fan favorite in a lot of these movies. I forget the actor's name, but he's a well-known actor in Japan. But yeah, he's always been kind of in these films. He always plays kind of a military type. You know.
Project T.
I was there. I know.
Again, I love how they always have these these little special like experiments. But like, why aren't any of these things classified?
I know.
What rival country is going to want to inhibit you in any way from like stopping Godzilla? Like, I understand like we create defense programs to protect our country. Okay, you don't want potentially enemies finding out, but Godzilla is like the enemy in danger to any country, anywhere, everywhere. So if someone's got a great idea that it might be able to kill him, who the hell wants to keep that?
I'm pretty sure Project T was a reference to Treadstone.
Yeah. By the way, this lighting right here makes me think I've got 2 tickets at...
2 tickets to
Oh, so
paradise.
she's got a
So
hot
you're-
date with
you're-
Mothra, not with Godzilla.
2 tickets to paradise.
Here's my question though: how come Mothra doesn't come back?
I know.
She's busy. She's working on something.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when you guys see it.
Again, it's fun. This movie has like a very kind of like pretty beach feel to it for a lot. You know, and again, you have to remember this whole. Again, it looks like we're just all just like hanging out on the beach in our weekend getaway. This whole scene makes me think.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that anybody stayed with her.
Yeah, no, they stay behind because why not, right?
Well, Godzilla's gone, so we're gonna have
Yeah.
a lot of sex here.
It's like, here, what do we do? Do we go to the place where Godzilla's going to be, or do we stay here with this really beautiful woman? Gee, I don't know. We're getting paid either way, right? No, but again, it's funny. I'm just saying, if I had my choice.
Yeah.
But no, it's strange when you think about it, because this is in the same continuity as 84, and again, you looked how dark and Nolan-esque almost that movie feels. And then you have this, which is bright and colorful and fun and wacky at times, and has giant Pokemon basically.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. And again, then you see the film that comes after, and it feels much more in line with that movie.
This one does, or the other one?
The one that Godzilla vs. Destroyer, the film that comes after this. Like I've always said, with the exception of Baby, who even in that movie, he's now like a teenager, so he looks like a kind of a miniature Godzilla now, like legitimately.
Okay.
So with the exception of him, you could watch 84, Bylante, and then jump into Destroyer, and they would feel like they're in canon. Yeah, the only thing is, okay, where did Baby come from now all of a sudden? That'd be the only question.
Right.
But tonally speaking, those films feel much more in line with each other, where then a lot of Oh, jeez.
It just came in the zipper part of the tent.
Oh, is this Project M?
Jeez, yeah, I think you got him, bud. I think it would have been nicer just to shoot him at this point. That's right, cut away. You know, you could have just asked us to leave.
Yeah, try that.
Just-
You guys are the ones that let us stay, and now it's not alright? Alright, whatever. Project M.
As opposed to all the other people that died.
Yeah.
And he made one bullet. Is that who they're talking about?
Yeah.
The bullet guy?
Bullet guy.
I want it to be a big neon sign. Do you see it?
This doesn't look rapey at all.
Barriers.
Got those
What
special
happens? Do they
binoculars.
vaporize you?
They give you a stern warning to turn around.
Stop! Something that cracks it. Like movies make, like going onto sewers and stuff. Like so. Well, that was fast, but like it's just like a super easy thing to do, and like that they're just like set up for people to easily like walk around. In,
I know.
Like, all, and it's just like no.
Ninja Turtles have shown that you at least need a skateboard to get around down there.
Right. I'd go with rollerblades.
It's a good call. Good call. Probably more control that way.
Mm-hmm. Either that or a trusty Razor scooter.
That's why in movies like this where I'm kind of like, do I really want to see a super spy-ish kind of rescue mission of a person in a Godzilla movie? I'm like, yeah, this is more my speed right here. You guys, look at his fucking fingers. What the hell? Can we talk about that guy's hands for a second?
That guy's been creepy this whole movie.
Yeah, he
Well,
definitely.
what-
He's got like he's just got a creepy face.
Well, with hands like that, what else? What other path in life can you go down? Like,
Right,
well,
right.
I wanted to be a veterinarian, but have you seen my fingers? No, I guess I cut out for villainy.
Yeah, you gotta be evil.
Time for arcades.
I kind of like this idea that some people maybe want to control Godzilla through her. So, and again, that's the other kind of issue too. Like,
This guy's got a problem.
What is going on here?
can you like not like break my hand when you try to put money in? But no, because think about it. Is it the potential of being able to control Godzilla in any capacity? Doesn't that kind of create more danger than it's worth? Because if you cannot control Godzilla, now there might be people who might try to take control and use Godzilla against us. I mean, the one good thing about him, being this kind of, non-loyal threat is that, for better or for worse, we're all kind of united under the same banner of like, oh shit, we're fucked, with Godzilla. But if now we find out, okay, we can control him, but yet now Godzilla becomes a prize to be had.
These guys kind of came out of nowhere.
Now it's daytime.
Kind of like SpaceGodzilla.
Yeah.
Just kind of came out of nowhere.
Did they forget that it was nighttime a second ago? Like,
Yeah, it could be morning now.
that was
Everything
fast.
below them is just blowing
Then
up.
again, I guess sunrise is at like freaking 5 a.m. over
Yeah, that is true.
I want an R-rated Godzilla.
We all want an R-rated Godzilla. You know how many
Because
fans?
just fly over a crowd of people there and just.
Watch them all just explode. Streets run red with just the blood of the innocent.
Just missed.
Hell yeah. Jeez.
Jesus. I think he thinks it's a game.
Yeah, the blood of the innocent.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sure thing, young Donald Trump there.
Yeah. G-Force, get the guns.
G-Force, we're gonna get the
Isn't
guns.
G-Force
We're gonna have
the same name? Like, there's that like
hamster movie.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I first heard they're making a G-Force movie, I got really excited, and then I
thought
saw
it
the
was
poster,
this.
and I got really unexcited.
You're like hamster movie.
I had no idea that a penis could become erect and flaccid that fast.
Wait, weren't they guinea pigs? That's why it was G.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
I,
they
It
did-
might have been guinea pig.
I just saw the poster and it was like, not what I wanted. They could have been armadillos for all I care. Just saying that's not my G-force. Oh jeez.
Thanks a lot.
Where am
don't
I?
shoot.
Why, what?
Shoot at me and I'll use my psychic abilities to kind of project the bullets around me. It'd be amazing if she did
You gotta
that.
have this comical moment where he shoots right between her legs.
Oh, and like takes the guy out like in
Yeah.
the nuts or something.
Right. Oh, yeah. And
Okay.
he'll also take the guy out.
Yeah, he shoots between her legs because she's got nothing in between there, but because the guy did, oh, that'd be genius. That'd be genius. God, why am I not writing everything in life?
She just turns into 11 here. Oh, well, she's doing something.
Those earrings. Wait, are we to believe that she levitated the earrings and in doing because she's attached to the bed, everything? Like, why were what was...
I don't know.
Unless she's saying she maybe like the metal. I don't know. Like again, is she being telekinetic over the entire thing, or is again like the earrings themselves have like these properties that by and large, but like you said, because she's attached to it. Again,
Which begs the
would
question.
hurt.
Why didn't you just let yourself out of this bed already? Unless it takes a lot of energy.
I mean, that might have been everything she had right there.
Is her
just
nose
to do
bleeding?
Magic. So you've
Telekinesis,
got fucking
bitch.
psychic powers and you've never tried this?
Yeah, if I thought that maybe I live in a world where telekinesis isn't real, and I've tried to move shit with my mind.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
like, maybe I'm the guy that can do it. No,
No, it's not me.
We've all tried.
We've all watched Star Wars, and then try to tell our parents, no, these are not my pornographic magazines under my mattress. Like bullshit, and then you're grounded. But I'm just saying, we've all tried it. Like I'm just saying,
I'm the chosen one.
this guy.
God.
Again, like this film gets so eccentric and cartoony at some points, and it's just funny because again, I feel like this is when the Heisei era kind of started falling into the same trap as the Showa, where it was getting a little silly.
He's like straddling the computer.
He really likes computers. And then they kind of realized that okay, like the Showa era, we're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna try to go off on a more serious note, kind of get a little
The
dignity
third type
back.
alert.
Who gives a shit what Yuki's doing? What are you doing? Isn't it your job to be concerned with what you're doing?
Fuck you.
Right.
What's Yuki doing? I don't fucking know. Making another bullet, who knows? Probably smoking a cigarette. Hey, how about we get the giant robot stat?
Honestly, we all feel that guy's kind of useless.
Only you seem to like him, sir. He's kind of an asshole at the Christmas party. Didn't want to say it at the time, but I feel it's relevant now. I like how a lot of flying kaiju, their means of destruction is kind of the same. They just fly over shit.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
they fly over shit and it dies.
I hate his face.
Who's?
Mogra's.
Moguras.
Mugira. Just like,
Oh, that's gonna do some damage.
Yep. Don't.
Is that a mazer on his chest?
Yep. He's a giant maser cannon, which again, like the
He shoots
logic.
plasma beams from his ass.
Oh, like yeah, the one white guy is there's just some redneck. I gave them all of them upgrades you asked for.
Yeah.
Gave them their laser eyes.
Y'all ready to see what he can do?
He embarrassed
His
me
chest
now.
opens up and like a sawed-off shotgun comes out. Like what?
Okay, that'd be cool.
He turns to like a giant like pickup truck.
This might be the American in me, but I'm all on board.
I equipped him with mud tires. You know, in case you want to go mudding. Just saying. You can now. Y'all come
And
back.
then right
man.
after he says that, he spits, and it just makes that sound. Like,
Jesus.
ding.
He's got a huge Confederate flag on him. Like, why the hell has he got that? I ain't
The
ashamed.
South will rise again.
I ain't ashamed of my history. Oh God.
It was about states' rights.
Never mind. We're shutting down the program. Forget it. Leroy ruined it for everyone. By the way, if anyone out there is named Leroy, I'm just joking. I'm not talking about you.
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Okay, this guy needs to get killed.
Hurry up, come over there so you can die.
He's like, you're supposed to go that way, so why are you still standing?
You know what we liked about your brother? He died. Can you follow his footsteps? Please and thank you. It's kind of cool that they harken back to like something from the other films where, you know, kind of show you that, you know, on the one hand, you kind of see where he's coming from. Like, you know, Godzilla, you know, killed my brother. You know, I'm angry. I want him dead. But on the flip side, it's kind of a selfish motivation on his part, too, because Godzilla killed a lot of people's brothers.
Yeah.
Godzilla killed a lot of people's moms and dads and pet dogs and little brothers and sisters and kids in primary school and kids in nursery.
And your brother was the only one firing a rocket at Godzilla.
Yeah, like, you know.
All those other ones were just...
kind of, you know, chilling. You can kind of make the argument... Cause
your brother had it coming, dude.
I'm just saying, you know. He kind of put himself there.
I'm just saying,
Well,
I
it
mean...
wasn't really that. It was like he was obsessed with Godzilla too, and
Well,
I'm like, look where that got him.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm kind of seeing a reoccurring problem here
Well,
with
it's
this
kind of
family.
like if your brother got killed by a bear, would you be like, all right, I'm going to hunt this bear down and shoot it with a special handcrafted bullet? You know, like, I don't know.
But the way his brother died, it's like kind of the equivalent of like, hey, I lathered myself up in honey and sheep's blood, and then went up and punched a grizzly bear in the eye, and then the bear ate him.
Yeah,
like
and
that
now,
goddamn
and
bear.
now I have to get
Revenge
Yeah,
on
I have
this-
to find that very bear. I will kill all the bears until that bear that killed my brother is dead. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I guess his sense of revenge doesn't extend to, like, baby, so you could argue he really is taking it personally against that one Godzilla, but it's kind of like, yeah, dude, Godzilla's killed a lot of people. You're not special.
Things are coming out of there. Run.
Again, I like how SpaceGodzilla kind of manipulate his environment and kind of create, like, he has extensions of himself. That's kind of a cool idea. I know in some of the video games, like, you can feed off power from them.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
Yeah. I like how, what's interesting, Godzilla's all kind of self-contained, whereas, like, SpaceGodzilla has a lot of, like, external power. The guy standing right. Well, why are you filming behind her? Then who's filming in front of her? Or she's just kind of like in a trance at this point. Doesn't realize the camera's moved.
Everybody's just freaking
Maybe
out.
they're not actually recording. They're just letting her go.
Yeah, just let her finish. It's easier this way.
Yeah.
Can never get a word in anyway.
She never knows which camera to look at.
She has like 6 cameras surrounding her, so no matter where she's looking, there's always just one.
G-Force!
Yes, because that'll. It's a staple of all Godzilla films. You have to see the military taking shots at it, but every time I see it now, there's a part of me, I'm kind of like, at this point in time in history, why? What? How angry he was. He's like, oh, God damn it! Like,
Yamvachi.
I kind of feel at this point, it's just cruelty on the part of. That's a great shot right there, like that.
Yeah, because they're sending all these humans to be slaughtered.
Yeah, like, when in the history has this ever worked? Has sending people in battleships and helicopters and
You
planes
could argue
and
that
tanks?
their only goal is to slow him from reaching the populated areas. Of
When
civilians.
has that ever worked?
Well, I mean, They're giving the civilians more time to like evacuate the.
I guess, but I'm just like, when you see how quickly he lays waste to them in his
You
time
know
of
what you
rest.
signed up for, men. Now go die.
Just getting this shot.
I mean, at this point, if you live in a world where Godzilla's real and you join the self-defense force, that is literally what you're signing up to do.
you're
Like,
an idiot.
I'm sorry. Like, I feel at this point, I think we've even said this before that Japan's self-defense force should be completely unmanned at this point because
Yeah.
it's almost like
It's Japan. Why are
Well, at
there
one
not
point
androids?
we're like we could see like a universe where the self-defense force is kind of like the Night's Watch. Where,
Oh, yeah, we
where
were saying
it's
that,
made
yeah,
up
yeah.
of, like it's like a prison sentence.
Yeah.
like where
because it is a death sentence at this point. If
Yeah.
Godzilla shows up and you're sent into action to
it's
counteract
like
him,
we
you're
don't
going
get
to
anybody
die.
to sign up for it, but we need these positions manned so our country's criminals will.
That would
do
be an interesting story for a Godzilla film that maybe takes place. No, it wouldn't even be in the near too distant future. Godzilla's been attacking for at least 10 years. By this point, we know that whatever we do doesn't really work. Okay, so who the hell is going to want to sign up to the military or any kind of military anywhere in the world when you know that okay, this is the threat you're going to be put against? You are going to die. Like you're
Which
done.
I mean, the most likely route a country would make is they would record certain period of mandatory military service for.
Well, that's how a lot of countries have done that. I know a lot of places in Europe, like I know my
Yeah.
cousin in France, he was part of the last generation where after high school, you have to do like a year in the military before you go off and do any kind of like advanced schooling. His was the last one to do that, and I remember it, like visiting him when he had his crew cut, and he would show all these pictures of him with his unit, and they're like, but yeah, that was mandatory. You had to go do a year of military service. That was standard. But I fear we live in a world where this is such a threat. Well, again, if this was like 20, 30 years ago, I could see them reinstating a draft, like you would have to. But now we have like unmanned technology where I think the military would quickly shift over to predominantly all unmanned, armed forces, drones, remote control tanks and ships. Because again, it's like
Right.
you're not even actually stopping him when you do this. So if really the goal is just to slow him down by like 30 minutes or whatever, the weapons you're using will be destroyed. It's just a matter of how much time can we buy. So at that point, putting people in them, it really is just a crime against humanity. So but I do like your idea. Like that's kind of a slick way of dealing with like, hey, put prisoners in there, and maybe that'd be like a deterrent to like people committing violent crimes. Like, hey, fine, you want to murder people? That's great. When we catch you, we're gonna send you to your death fighting Godzilla. So maybe
Jesus
don't
Christ.
axe murder everyone. Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you just knocked out the guy that was driving. Okay.
Well, it kind of makes sense. They're supposed to be going after SpaceGodzilla, I believe, and he
Yeah.
took the ship
Yeah.
at Godzilla, the bear that killed his brother.
Yeah, well, again, it kind of shows you, like, why is this guy still allowed to be, when you see kind of his mental faculties are so, like,
He's a loose cannon.
Compromised.
yeah, like, I love how easy he went down to all that military training and these two guys just, like,
No, it was one guy who just karate chopped.
yeah, and that's all it took, like, okay, yeah. You can see why he failed to kill Godzilla.
Maybe Space Godzilla wants to be an idol, and he's trying to just set a stage, and he's gonna have a light show, and he's gonna sing.
Space Godzilla's like, the world is my stage. A microphone descends
He
down.
wants to prevent the future that has plagued his life.
Yep. That's a great back. I really like that though. Baby in the future, after all these horrible things have happened,
Yep.
they've turned him into even more of a monster than
Humanity
Godzilla.
appearing to be his friend is
Well, Godzilla
just
is. Well, if in this continuity Godzilla is the accidental result of man's mistakes, Space Godzilla is then now the purposeful result of
and maybe
man's mistakes.
humanity like uses baby to kill
His father.
Godzilla. Yeah.
Oh man, this is getting epic.
Duh.
Radar.
Plasma laser, fire.
I love how I basically just love how Space Godzilla is slowly building himself a fortress of solitude. I like he's converting the city around him. That's pretty cool. I just wish those crystal effects were done
He's
a little better.
terraforming the Earth. Yes.
Yeah, it kind of is actually a little Man of Steel action here, maybe. Or should we say Man of Steel is a little Space Godzilla action? I'm just saying.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. I'm just saying that movie's getting less original every time I think about it.
Thunder Thighs reporting in.
I love when they do these epic shots.
Derp.
Fucking wannabe Gundam.
Yeah, right.
It's like the ugly duckling of the Gundam world.
It's like, it's totally fine if they put like a cool face on him, but
Yeah.
He's got weird penis drill face.
yeah.
I just like Space Godzilla was laughing at him. I'm like, what the fuck are you supposed to be? Ow. Ow.
Yeah.
We did something.
Those are the only 2 missiles we got, but
Shit. I always love it. Godzilla could walk around it, but why?
you could also walk through it. And
Yeah.
It's more fun.
But I love he's not even walking through it. He's taking the time to just fuck it up. I really like the way he's lit here. I like the fire on the ground. I always like when they imply that the ground's on fire by kind of doing that bottom lighting. Again, the composite shots are really good in this movie, which is so funny because a lot of the movies, this movie looks actually really cheap when they do like the set stuff. But when they composite Godzilla in a real shot, he actually looks pretty damn good.
Time for the mazer.
Pretty badass. Well, already it's having more an effect on him than it has ever have on Godzilla. Although I will say this over Mechagodzilla, I love how Megora here is. A lot of his weapons are a lot more brutal. They look like they're more designed to hurt.
It's like, give me a kiss.
Look at him! Look at him! Damn!
Yeah.
Say I have a penis face again. Say it. Suck on this, Space Godzilla.
They need to have one of those drills on his stomach.
I kind of feel that would have been a better use than like the mazer. Just
Like,
Yeah.
hug him.
have
Because
this.
we already know the masers don't do anything.
I know. Have a
They
giant
should've
fucking
had
drill.
a drill around the mazer, so it's drilling and shooting at the same time.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because then they break the skin and the mazer goes
Yeah.
into
Inside
the
and
flesh.
blast
It
him,
might
yeah.
actually do something.
That would be brutal.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. We need a Quentin Tarantino re-edit of this movie where it gets really violent
Did
and
you hear
bloody.
he might be making a Star Trek movie?
I'm not even gonna entertain because there's no way they're gonna let him
I
do
hope
that.
he does.
I hope, yeah, but they're not gonna do it. Well,
Oh
apparently
my
he
God.
wanted to do a Godzilla film. He's just talking about he's always had this idea for a Godzilla movie, and I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan. I'm gonna be honest, but I kind
Really?
of want to see that. Cause
I mean, that would be our rated R Godzilla.
Yeah.
movie.
Oh no, that's why. Because it'd be so violent, and not because the people would be violent. I want to see him just make Godzilla like super violent. Like he's breaking off like parts of buildings and like stabbing other monsters in the eye with it. He's literally ripping off limbs and like he would literally just rip off that crest on Space Godzilla's head and actually shove it up his ass. Not metaphorically, he would literally just rip that thing off
Oh, yeah.
and shove it up his ass. And yet Quentin Tarantino would still have like a long ass cameo in this movie. He'd have like he'd play like the president or something. Okay, guys, here's my vision. Okay, we need to start with the mazer cannon, but don't lean on it too hard because quite frankly, it never fucking does anything. It never fucking does anything. He'd just be this short, abrupt, angry guy.
Jesus.
Okay, who the fuck is piloting that thing? Jesus fucking Christ, guys, come on. What the fuck? You guys are the goddamn fucking military. Act like it. Just I'm picturing-
You're like a bunch of guinea pigs out there.
Just President Tarantino screaming at the screen at Godzilla. What the fuck, Godzilla? Can you move this fucking guy over here? Just stepped on fucking Parliament. Fucking asshole. Oh man, Quentin Tarantino's really mad at Godzilla.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of F-bombs in
Just a lot of swearing. A lot of Godzilla, like, literally ripping other kaiju limb from limb, and Quentin Tarantino just swearing in his 25-minute cameo.
Godzilla's roar is replaced with "fuck."
Fuck! Oh my god. We just made this movie amazing.
Oh, God.
Hey, can you guys
You
untie
might
me?
as
You're
well untie me now.
making me feel really uncomfortable now. Not really liking this. I have a lot of trust issues. Do not like. I love how Space Godzilla's like mouth beam. It's kind of almost like malleable. Like he can kind of control it
Yeah.
more.
Oh, yeah. It's like dodge this.
It's like heat seeking.
Yeah, he kind of controls it.
Or
It's
dark side Omega beams.
It's like a weird, like, yeah, or like a weird, like, yeah. He uses his beam like a whip, whereas Godzilla is literally just like, a
Cannon.
blast. Yeah.
Ow.
Stop falling.
You may be Godzilla, but I'm Godzilla from space.
Ha ha! That's a cool shot.
No. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
It's funny, I first saw this movie.
Telekinesis.
That's telekinesis, guy.
Maybe that's how she got her telekinesis powers, is because Space Godzilla is here.
That'd be kind of cool. I remember I first saw this movie and I moved to Okinawa and it was on like television at night and I just saw this scene.
He's just like, whoa.
Godzilla's probably enjoying this because he's thinking, it's like, oh, this is cool. I never
Except for that one time when he flew.
It's such a relief on his knees.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. And then.
Godzilla just bounces right back up. Are you kidding me? I run through buildings all the time.
Is this all you can do?
Yeah.
Hey. I guess he's driving now.
Yeah.
How trusting they were of him.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, though, I guess Godzilla is here, so it's kind of like their goals are kind of in line. Just shoot Space Godzilla first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in his interest to take out Space Godzilla, because if he doesn't, Space Godzilla is gonna take any chance of revenge away from him.
That is that's a good point.
Yeah. It's too bad I wasn't in there with him to explain it to him. Like, look, we gotta take out Space Godzilla, because if we don't, he's gonna kill Godzilla. And if he kills Godzilla,
You can't.
yeah.
I feel like Space Godzilla is the magical girl version of Godzilla.
The Sailor Moon version.
Crystal, he's got lights, he's got, powers where he's floating.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Space Godzilla make a comeback. Like, I think he's conceptually a cool enough. Visually speaking, he's really cool. I mean,
we got a new awesome backstory for him.
and that's my point. Like, it's tragic. Like, he's basically this other Godzilla that was. I mean, again, in these continuities, Godzilla is always an accidental bastardization of nature. But what happens if we do it on purpose? Like, we as humanity do what we always.
And I want to see a story like that because these movies kind of like allude to like humanity's ulterior motive, or like they're not like, but in the end, humanity always like triumphs as like the hero. Like, oh yeah, all these differing personalities and people. They're like, oh no. We've got a serious problem. We need to come together, set those things aside for the time being, and come together for the good of humanity. I want to see where it's just like humanity is kind of they didn't make the right choice.
Yeah.
Here and now they're paying for the.
Well, it's kind of.
And this was more of like that story would be kind of more of like a long game sort of thing. Like
over the course of like several movies.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Well, again, you'd almost look at it. It's kind of like the atom bomb, the hydrogen bomb. It's like we make an atom bomb. Look how terrible it is. So what does humanity do? Learn from it? Nope. Let's make a bigger, worse one.
Yeah.
We have Godzilla. What do? Let's make a Godzilla that's even more terrible and destructive.
Yeah.
And
but what's interesting about this, so like. In the story I kind of like came up with, so that's baby Godzilla from the future traveling back in time to prevent that future from ever happening. And so humanity is paying for a future that it hasn't even
created.
It hasn't even
What?
gotten
Why is
to
there
yet.
another
And
pilot
so,
in it?
Well, it's also Godzilla being self-aware enough of himself.
right.
Ooh.
Diamond
Raining
dust.
crystal stalactites. Again, I love this really does feel like a video game right here,
Yeah.
which is funny because again, Space Godzilla's pretty sure he's based off of again that Super Godzilla from the game. Where
It's actually really cool. He's firing the Fortress of Solitude at him.
well, again, the effect is kind of cheap, but like the concept behind it now that even Toe's using like CGI, it's like. I think now we could really do a character like Space Godzilla justice in terms of like the visuals of what he is, because he's got all these powers and abilities and tricks and whatnot. That I mean, Godzilla's kind of a meat. Well, before Shin, he was always kind of just a meat and potatoes fighter.
Yeah.
His atomic breath was his only kind of bit of flash, whereas Space Godzilla has all the bells and whistles. He's got all the tactical gear, all the tools.
You can kind of tell this sequence is where the budget went.
Yeah, again, where the film does well, it really does do well. Unfortunately, it's kind of there are big moments in between where you're like, ugh, and I kind of wish they would have allotted more of it to the battle sequences between Space Godzilla and Godzilla.
The problem is like this doesn't have as much payoff as it probably should because it's like there's too much. It's like I don't really know why any of this is happening.
Well, yeah, that's honestly the biggest problem with this movie.
It's just happening.
Yeah, it's just kind of shit just started happening. Which, I mean, from a visual standpoint, yeah, it's cool. But there's really not. Again, Space Godzilla is the ultimate. Like, what? You're like, oh, okay, I guess that's happening.
Well, it just has you immediately thinking of like the better stories they've done.
Yeah,
not really like focused on this one.
Yeah,
so much in terms
That
of like.
outfit. So fly.
But yeah, I mean, there's some cool like set pieces like that. I mean, the fight going on currently.
Yeah,
is really cool looking. Like this is a sweet shot.
I know. Yeah, exactly. It's seriously, what are they wearing?
They
Fashion, look it up.
This is a deleted scene. They were on the moon base.
Yeah,
And they just landed.
again, think about it. You have a giant robot circling and firing at Godzilla and Space Godzilla in a like crystallized version of like Tokyo. It's cool, but it's just.
I don't think they're in Tokyo, but yes.
Isn't that Tokyo?
I think they were in Fukuoka.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. That's just
Maybe.
me as a stupid Westerner generalizing everything. It's like when people say, "Oh, you go to France, so you must like Paris, huh?" I've actually never been to Paris. What? How is that possible? Well, because I go to other places in the country of France, which contains the city that is Paris.
I like how they were dumb enough to let him go on his own.
Well, at this point, I think all bets are off. Nobody knows what's going on in this damn movie. Like, yeah, let him do his thing.
Though. Better him than all of them.
Oh, underground.
Yep.
So wait, are they just going blind?
I'm imagining they must have some kind of tracking system. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I do dig that.
Oh, you dig it.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Wow.
Nice. I didn't catch that immediately.
I like how you're seeing the extent of which all that, I guess Space Godzilla's sphere of influence is spreading.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But because he relies so heavily on kind of external factors to kind of power himself, and that's kind of his weakness too. It's like, okay.
Right.
It's kind of like with Godzilla. Yeah, in theory, if you were to be able to shoot a rocket directly into his heart, yeah, it would kill him. But the problem is, piercing Godzilla's hide has always been the issue, where Space Godzilla, a lot of his power and life force is external, which means, okay, you can damage his body, but he can still survive because he's got external sources of power. But on the flip side, though, it also makes him vulnerable because now you can get to those sources of power.
Yeah.
So again, there's a lot of great ideas in this. I mean, a lot of people really shit on this movie. I don't think it's great at all, but I think the movie has a lot of potential. That's its biggest crime, is I feel it's more or less lazy.
They just didn't flesh anything out.
Yeah, no, I think they were just like, hey, remember that Space Godzilla thing? Yeah, let's just do that.
I
I don't think there's any reason to like absolutely shit on this movie, but
No.
I would this wouldn't even. I wouldn't even think to bring this movie up in a discussion about Godzilla movies.
Yeah,
If that makes
it
sense,
very
yeah.
much is like, I mean, you could really skip over this one.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't. Again, we've already been introduced to Baby, so we can just skip this little.
But I mean,
point is like
also
jump-
like there is value in watching it. Like if you're a fan
Oh,
of
yeah.
Godzilla movies and you just want to see like Godzilla do some cool stuff.
Well,
and
yeah.
some-
I mean, that was kind of my feelings
some
towards
other,
Godzilla versus like King Ghidorah. Like, I didn't really like that movie because I just butchered time travel. But it's still a Godzilla movie where he fights King Ghidorah, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not going to be one of my go-to films. Like when we do marathons, or in the case of all the commentaries, yeah, we're gonna watch it. But in terms of just pleasure, I don't automatically go to this one like I would, 84 or Destroyer. Like Destroyer to me is
love
one of the
Destroyer.
top 3 greatest Godzilla movies ever
Yeah.
made,
Yeah.
and that's
we've generally over the course of these commentaries really like spoken to like what we think of the movie. Like
Yeah.
in terms of, like do we enjoy it? So like,
Oh yeah, I've never been one of those fans where I give everything a pass just because it's Godzilla. If you've had so many of these movies, statistically, they're not all going to be winners, folks. And I realize that, but at the end of the day, I'm always happy when they try something new or different. I think the biggest misstep of this film is that they just didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
I think but again, I think they already had their sights set on the move that's coming after, which again you haven't seen, but when you see it, you're gonna realize that this is the thing. This is where the A team was working. This was the film that they were building and developing. This is very much like
I can see really like the shame. It's like this movie had to be like rushed out and put out. They wanted to like put it out, but it's kind of like a shame because the nature of these. There's been so many like from what you've told me like kaiju that have kind of made like one-off appearances. We haven't really like seen it. And then SpaceGodzilla, kind of the same thing where it's like it's kind of a shame. It's like maybe if they had
done him justice with a better
movie. A movie where they invested some time into the
character,
and really like figured it out that maybe he'd be something that we would have seen again or
because
something like that. And it's like it's interesting enough. It's just it's a shame that this is how it had to go or whatever. Again,
he's a cool kid. He was a character that goes way back too in terms of like Toho developing again. He's a carryover from an earlier time. So I was kind of hoping for that reason alone they might have kind of had a bit of love for him, at the studio because again he was kind of in the in the pile of ideas for a lot. I mean, he came out of. I mean, there were all these rumors of like what they wanted. Hey guys, remember me? They just karate chop him again.
We're so proud of you for not going off on your own.
I know. Congratulations, you did your job.
Yeah.
Woo woo. Thank you for doing the thing we pay you for. Appreciate it.
They're just sitting there silently as he buckles up.
Safety first.
But yeah, no, I mean...
Such like an awkward... It's just like, you saved us. Yeah, I did. Sits down, buckling up, nobody's saying anything. He's buckled up, they get like a nod, and then beep, beep, beep. like what the... There's like 30 seconds that could have been like 6.
I know. Maybe we should have cut from the scene just a little sooner.
Are you having fun?
No.
Oh, let's kill SpaceGodzilla first.
Wow, you sure had a character arc.
And both of them just have looks on their faces like, yeah.
But then you see him getting the little gun again with the bullet, and he goes outside of it. He's running around the street, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Leave him.
He's that guy you work with. You're like, how he's not been fired yet.
Well,
like,
to be fair, remember they even said like, "Oh, do we have to get that guy?"
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to.
They should have just killed him off immediately on the island.
Just eject him.
That's it. Yeah.
They're just brawling, just like. This is what I love when Godzilla just gets down and dirty. It's like, all superpowers all aside, let's just giddy up each other's grill, just like. I like how they fight. They just kind of throw each other into each other. They're basically moshing right now, and I love that's how Godzilla fights. It's just a huge mosh pit.
And he's the awkward.
I know. Megora's like, so
What do
should we jump in, or should we let them sort out themselves? I mean, what?
I just hate that guy.
I know.
Spiral grenade missiles.
Oh,
SGMs for short. Yeah, plasma cannon.
But see, how basically though fragile is SpaceGodzilla when you could have just blown those things apart at any given moment?
I thought they were trying to kill SpaceGodzilla, and they hit Godzilla. Like,
oh,
that's where new left arm just.
just the same thing. Ooh. Seriously though, it's like, damn.
Nice.
Oh.
That is cool. Look at that.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know. Again, I love that even SpaceGodzilla, when in doubt, just resort to like, just brass knuckles fighting, basically. Just like, okay, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Tail through the chest.
Reminds me of his father.
Yeah, it looks like you guys are done.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to get out.
What are you being ridiculous?
Just leave Yuki there. He'll get it.
Yeah. Let him give it a shot with his special bullet.
Yeah. Where is he actually? Where'd he go?
Getting a special bullet?
Oh.
No, what do you mean? What about you? No, leave him. Yes, see? The first sensible thing he said all day.
I know.
Leave me to die. You don't have to tell me twice.
And I was like, thank God. Fucking hate that guy.
I know.
Oh, God damn it. Why are we such good people? Or are they separating?
Yeah, they're going to disengage.
Yes, you can. You can easily leave him.
See, even he doesn't want you to be around him. It gets swatted.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shit. I mean, I guess he's upgraded from that little pea shooter he had before, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to be enough, guy.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my God, your brother that died had a bigger gun.
I know.
Like,
He had a legitimate bazooka.
Yeah.
He actually had a bazooka. Now,
And he still died.
we're not even saying that ironically, like, oh yeah, he's got a bazooka. No, he literally had a fucking bazooka, and he died. Now you got two Godzillas. One with, like, space powers. Like, just pack it in, you silly bastard. Like,
Just go kill a bear. Pretend your brother was killed by that bear.
I just feel good about yourself that way. I believe that's called the China Lake, by the way.
Yeah.
I used to snipe people with that in Call of Duty because I'm an asshole. Should we
I
use a
don't
sniper
think
rifle?
you
Nope. I'm just going to
snipe.
blow up everything in the vicinity to get them, including people on my team. Got him.
Damn it!
I love using those like short-circuiting.
Oh, when did those get broken?
What is? Remember they fired
Yeah.
those rockets at him? And they blew them apart.
Oh, you're talking about the spiral grenade missiles.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like, Jesus, how powerful is this going to be if
Yeah.
we could just
Okay.
shatter them?
I totally missed that they shattered those.
Yeah, no. Again, granted, he's Space Godzilla's still very much on his feet doing shit. But I'm just kind of like,
Oh, yeah.
I think that was kind of the source of how he kind of drew power from like all the crystals around him.
Right.
So now he no longer has an external source of power. So he is just on his own.
Yeah, he's basically just a Godzilla now.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that powerful.
Yeah, as we've clearly established.
We're in
you
our
guys.
special fighting outfits.
We only need one bullet.
How funny if he goes, "You two look ridiculous." Like, what the hell?
The guy's got to be like, hold up another bullet. I have a bullet that could take them out, but I only have one. Who shall I kill? And he flips a coin, and he shoots Space Godzilla, and it does nothing, and he dies.
That's how. Oh, he got a bigger bullet.
There we
Yeah.
go. Now pin him to the ground, and then self-destruct sequence begin.
Oh, you failed. You
Yeah.
overshot it, bro.
Yeah, good job.
Oh
Can't-
shit! They're
You
gonna
can
charge
get
us for
to
that, aren't
anything.
How's his name pronounced? Is it Yuki or Yukai?
they? I think it's Yuki.
Yuki.
Seriously, I think they've caused more destruction at this point than
I
Godzilla
know.
or Space Godzilla.
But they'll just blame it on them.
Yeah, like
Why?
Yeah, seriously, how's there even a Japan left at this point?
I
Like,
know.
It's a good question.
I would love to see a continuity where after like about a decade of all this happening, like Japan is just now just ruined. Like basically Japan just becomes a wasteland because it's if the monsters keep coming there, then I would think most people would leave and would have
Or continuity where we see like just rapid like building technologies kind of be like introduced into like kind of, so when these things are destroyed, like they're literally
I kind of
just
think
dropping in skyscrapers like in a day.
like giant 3D
something.
printed buildings.
of Evangelion, where the buildings would go underneath. and
Yeah. Well, I think if you lived in a continuity where Godzilla's been around for at least 50, 60 years, like, yeah, that would be like a thing where we'd have to start building new cities, or just cities underground, if nothing
Just got
else.
another awesome idea.
Oh, God.
So there's gonna be like the ground. There's gonna be the ground city where the majority of the population lives. But then now we got another city that is built, let's say 500 meters in the air, taller than Godzilla or any of the, and that's where the top 1% of the population.
Oh,
lives.
yeah.
So it's like an Elysium
Yep.
of sorts.
And then all the poor people are in between
Yeah.
on the ground level.
Yep. And getting just destroyed by Godzilla and whatever.
That could be a thing. But these are all great ideas. And now that Toho is like open to trying new things, we might, I don't know, I want to pitch it to them. Hopefully they don't sue us for pitching it to them. But
Right.
like, we haven't done this yet. So don't sue us. We're just saying, wouldn't it be cool if
If you did it.
Just
If
Toho
you did
controller.
it.
You.
I don't even need to take credit for it. I just want to see it. Like
No, I very much want to take credit for it.
A paycheck would be nice.
Yes.
I was like, we won't sue you. Good enough.
Deal.
Suckers.
Shoot my ankle off.
Oh, she's gonna use the force right here. Do it. Do it.
Use the force.
Yep, got that.
Kind of figure that.
She is. She's totally Japanese 11.
Oh my god, she's gonna take over my body.
It's kind of creepy though. It's like, yeah, I like the idea. Though. She's like, let me see through your eyes again. I like how her power grows throughout this continuity. Like when we first see her in Biolante, she's basically just.
I really think she's
Just
drawing
dreams.
power from these SpaceGodzilla crystals, just like SpaceGodzilla.
Again, that would be a great
Because she
thing
has
to introduce.
Because and then it would make perfect sense if SpaceGodzilla was in fact baby, because then he
shoots
shares the
you
genetic,
Yep.
makeup of Godzilla. So it's not too far of a stretch to say that she has some sort of psychic connection to him too.
Again, all good ideas.
And then we can see the after credit scene. She has a necklace that she made with one of the crystals
Oh shit!
after SpaceGodzilla has been defeated, and then
And then he dies. He falls into the fire.
Oh.
And then in the subsequent sequels, we see her be corrupted by the crystal. Yeah.
All great ideas, which just makes me hate this movie even more now. Because I'm just thinking of all the amazing things I could have done. I didn't actually hate this. Remember before I was saying, I don't hate this movie. Yeah, I hate it now.
Hindsight is 2020, though. Like
Yeah.
I had to see this movie first before I could come up with this.
And again, we're seeing the return of, again, the super atomic breath, which, again, is it was implied when Godzilla's power is at his max. So you know that when
When he's
Godzilla's...
angriest.
Yeah, when you see that reddish-orange fire, that means Godzilla's super powered. So when we perhaps see him in the next movie, and his breath is always like that, you realize just where his power level's at, like, all the time.
It's over 9,000.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet, the explosions we're seeing like erupt from his
Yeah.
breath.
And again, it's like it's all practical effects. Back then, would have had to. Those are all real. There's a guy on set right now with that much fire blowing up in front of him. So
He's like, yeah, victory dance.
and right here, they're implying that it's a little bit like Biolante, where you see he's dissolving into the fire. Again, they mentioned Biolante a little bit, maybe a potential connection there too. But again, they don't really flesh any of this out.
Well,
so
again, if you look at the jaw, the way they did it, it's very similar.
yeah, it's very similar to Biolante. So I think they're implying that, but I think the problem with this film is that it should have done more than imply or hint. I think it would have
They've
been cool,
implied a lot.
but they don't actually commit. I think it would if they wanted to, like, yes, Godzilla cells got into space. How? Well, Biolante went into space. You know, that thing we never saw again. And okay, fine, but at least it would explain how the cells got there. Just kind of sell it
But
a little
they
bit more.
did.
Well, they did,
For
but
like
they
2
don't.
seconds.
Yeah, but they don't really confirm for sure
Yeah,
if that's
I
what
honestly
it was.
completely forgot about that.
And then they also say, oh, it could have been the fight with Mothra when
Yeah.
Mothra went into space too. Basically saying, how did Godzilla
Actually,
cells
yeah,
get
the
into
Mothra
space?
thing would kind of make sense, given that she's communicating.
From space right now,
Yeah.
basically. So,
It's that, hey, so I know this is happening because it's all my fault.
again,
But I'm
and-
not going to come out.
yeah. Yeah, sit this one
I'm
out.
not as fast as Space Godzilla.
So,
I'm on my way, but it would be a little while. And he has the ability to destroy the entire world before I get there, so I figured I'd send out this psychic warning.
again, there's a lot of great ideas that for some reason they just did not want to commit to any one of them. And that's just...
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
they did want to have that scene that was way too long, of them all just sitting in silence in the cockpit.
Yeah. That's what it was all about, folks.
Yeah.
That was
They could have taken that time and committed it to explaining what the hell was going on.
that was the pitch. It's just some guy goes, I want to have a movie where these guys sit awkwardly in silence. Good.
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna
There's
do.
gonna be- oh
We're
yeah,
gonna-
and that whole scene where everyone, or two guys watch another
Yeah.
guy shower.
I
We
feel
could
like
take that out.
This movie is all about Yuki in the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
we could take that scene right out. We don't need to watch a guy shower. We don't need to watch other guys watch a guy shower.
Don't we though?
You know,
Don't we?
I know it's supposed to be like, oh, he tried to sacrifice himself, yay! But I'm
Yeah,
like, no,
well, if
he's
you're
an
gonna-
ass.
if you're
I
gonna-
know this woman wants to die. I am not happy that he's alive. I
I
don't feel
know.
relieved.
Yeah.
I don't feel a sense of like, yes. I'm
he
like,
know.
should have been killed on the island.
yes.
Like right away. He's just this crazy loon with a bullet and a dream, and that all gets squashed.
Yeah.
It's probably not even actually blood coagulant. It's probably just his blood. He's like,
Probably
"Yeah."
not even related to the guy that got killed before. Like he's that
Again,
crazy.
it's just his motivation and the fact he was going to take this super expensive
Yeah.
piece of military equipment that might be the only thing to save us, and he was going to go on some stupid vengeance mission for himself. I mean, the guy is an asshole.
Yeah.
All because why? Godzilla killed my brother. Yes, because your vengeance is so much more important.
It's a bear. It really is the equivalent of a bear.
Yeah,
Like, you're-
and now I need to commit an entire species to genocide, basically. It's just like, you idiot, die. I like the shot of Godzilla right here.
It's like it sucks. I'm sorry your brother died, but
but
he was killed by an animal.
that and again,
And this particular animal, he was one of like millions. It's like it sucks.
yeah.
But
And again, look at his job. You're supposed to be you need to be able to rise above it. And if you can't do it, you should have resigned your post. But instead, you try to use your position in the self-defense force to leverage yourself in a way to get revenge. Yeah, I don't know. It's just,
I get it. They're trying to make like an interesting human character for us to follow through the course of the movie,
but
but
he's not the one.
really a lot of it probably comes down to like the acting and the direction for the character.
Yeah,
It's that he just comes off as unlikable. Like
yeah, I don't like him. I don't think. Again, a lot of people don't like this movie. And again, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But again, it's just.
but I hate it.
But
No, it's just there's a lot.
they could have, like I said, they could have done. They
It's
just
hard
didn't.
it's hard not to complain about the things that you see. Like, well, they could have done
Yeah.
this better. This
It's
could have just
simple
been
stuff
better.
they could have added.
Again, I
they
try to
didn't.
avoid being too complaining, nitpicky, but there's sometimes I'm just like, oh, but the stuff you got wrong was so lazy. Like, come on.
Well, I think it's because it's like you can easily see where it's like this movie could have been cool.
Yeah,
Like,
very
it's not
easily.
Like, it's not like this movie was doomed just
No,
for the
not at all.
by the whole premise of it. It's like no, it could have been really cool.
Well, when I first
They just
heard
didn't
about
do
it, when they told me that there's a movie called Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla, and I was like, bitching, you know, like yes,
Yeah.
I was so excited for this one, and like how she freed him, even though other things really didn't do much of anything.
I
but
wish you would
okay,
just wink at her and be like, hey.
Now, what year is it in this movie?
it's still 1994, still, so it is happening in like our
Oh, so
reality.
it's just present day.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because you know that's not
I mean,
Mothra's
'cause
job, right?
to me, if I was gonna do like a Space Godzilla movie, it's probably
More futuristic.
yeah, or
Again, the whole time travel
or
thing.
maybe like anytime you do the time travel, it's kind of
It's difficult.
it's a tricky situation. So I don't know if I'd really do that, but some sort of you almost got to just by involving space, you got to involve some sort of sci-fi elements.
More future techy kind of, again, even if it's not like a distant future, but like a generation of ahead maybe, where
Yeah.
Godzilla's been a thing long enough and we've
and
been
that's
developing
why, like, if you
techno-
do time travel, like it is kind of
See,
it makes sense to have it set like in the present day, and that it's kind of it was still contingent on a certain future, however
Yeah.
distant, for this to be possible in the present, and like
Yeah, there's a lot that could have done with it. And I love how it's being wrapped up like, all in a day's work, just fucking fighting monsters. Just everyone's just sitting chilling. I was like, the city's in ruins. There's so many people dead and dying. I love how everyone's just having a moment of like, let's all watch Godzilla go out in the sunset.
that
it's like,
guy's just
where's
sad that he
Baby?
doesn't have a girl with him.
do you leave baby on the island?
Well, yeah, I think Baby was like trapped in the that.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah, remember how even the movie forgot about that?
I know.
remember Baby? Oh, even the movie was like, oh yeah, huh? Well, whatever. We'll put him in the next one. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
See how this movie just kind of ends like a nice, sexy stroll
I
on the
know.
beach,
This
with
is
beautiful
how a lot of them
sunset
end, though.
or sun. Yeah, but it's still too just like cheery and,
that's
positive.
that's what I'm saying. Like yeah, well, like a lot of them end on a cheery note. Like, oh,
Like, look what just fucking happened, people. Like,
well, and that's why I want to see the Godzilla movie where at the end humanity hates itself. You know, like where they kind of get this like look like we have done horrible things.
yeah, or that's next, my friend.
Yeah.
The next one is Godzilla Swan. Oh, that's adorable.
he's
Yeah,
so-
again, everything they basically got wrong in this movie, they excel at in the next one, which is built to show you like how.
Okay.
How did you get it so wrong and then just turn around and suddenly just like, well, I guess they learned their lesson. But again, I get the sense
And
that
it's not that like I don't want to see humanity sad because like this monster like destroyed everything. I want humanity to feel some responsibility.
yeah, exactly. They have
based on their specific actions that have led to this outcome where millions of lives have been lost and it's all their fault.
God, you're gonna love Godzilla vs. Destroyer. You're gonna love
It's
this
really good.
movie. Oh
I'm looking
God.
forward to it because I would say that's still my favorite and just like it's probably not objectively like the best one I've even seen, but my favorite has still been the I don't know what to call it, the Fantastic Four one.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the most. It was just so entertaining to me. I just had
because
so
they
much
kept
fun
that
watching
tone with
that
it.
movie.
'Cause yeah, this again. a lot
It
of this-
just it knew what it was doing and just stuck with it. It just went all in on what it was
committed.
doing. And
yeah, this one
was it probably like the best thing? I don't know, but like I had so much fun.
It was
watching that
consistent.
movie.
Well,
Yeah.
it succeeded in achieving what it wanted to. Whereas a film
Right.
like this, you see what they're probably trying to go for. But again, I don't even think they really knew what they were going for in this movie.
What is that one called? The one I'm talking about.
Oh crap! I think it's X, the space monster. It's got I think that's what it was called. It was like a longer name. There's a sequel to it, which we will be doing.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
came out like I think it was like 2005 or something. It came out.
Are there any recurring?
I don't think so.
Oh.
It's like over 30 years later.
Yeah, because Susan Storm was hot.
Right. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this one. Join us again next time when we conclude the Heisei Godzilla era of films. So we'll catch you then.
Looking forward to it.
Peace!
Peace.